episode 5, episode 5. What's up, everybody? Coming to you from Cinemation Studios. Welcome to episode 5 of McHenry County Stronger Together. My name is Jim Wydilla from Modern Day Romeos and Cinemation, and we have an amazing show for you tonight. As businesses in McHenry County start to reopen, we thought it would be a great time to bring in our next guest from the McHenry County Department of Health, the Public Health Administrator, Melissa Adamson, and the Community Development Administrator, Hans Mock. Now, I know Hans Mock, or Hans in the Health Department, kind of sounds like a band from the 50s. They're more like a group of amazing people banded together to inform, support, and take care of McHenry County. So, let's go to the Zoom room and meet them. This is so fun to have. Welcome, Melissa. Welcome, Hans. Thank you for taking time out of your crazy schedules to do this with us and have a little fun. First, let's just talk about yourselves and talk a little bit about, who you are. And let's start with Melissa. Melissa, do you have kids? What are your hobbies? Let us know a little bit about you.
Okay, so I'm Melissa. I think this is my third time living in Illinois. I am married and I have 2 little boys, very active little boys. When I'm not at work, enjoy cooking, gardening. I think as a result of COVID-19, I'm trying to make an effort to learn how to sew masks. And generally, I just like a lot of creative projects. I also dibble and dabble in knitting and crochet, but I tend not to finish projects. I just sort of start them for the sake of learning how to do something, and then I think I abandon them.
But at least you're proving that you can do it. That's more important.
Right. It's more like, okay, I learned how to do something and then I move on.
And you're the public health administrator for the health department. What is the health department, maybe globally, McHenry County, even on a day-to-day basis? Is it just people that walk around with clipboards? Am I way off? How do you describe what you do? Because pretty much everyone's heard of you, but a lot of people have no idea what's involved. So
sure. Well, actually, so the health department, we have a lot going on here at the health department. And public health, generally speaking, is a pretty broad category of work. I think the day in, day out is really reflected in our mission, which is to work to prevent disease and promote and protect health and safety within McHenry County. And we are run by an 11-member board of health. They each serve 3-year terms, and they are appointed by the county chairman. And we have 4 divisions here at the health department: environmental health, nursing, animal control, and administration. So I'll just run through maybe some examples of what's done.
Animal control is part of the health department. I had no idea.
Yep, animal control is part of the health department. I am not a historian yet on all things McHenry County and county government, but I'm not sure it was always under the health department. But nevertheless, animal control is part of the health department, at least in this county. It's not that way in every county. Within our environmental health division, we do things like routine inspections of food establishments to ensure food safety. We monitor for West Nile virus. We collect and analyze beach water samples for area beaches. We monitor body art facilities and tanning facilities. We issue permits for septic and wells. And those are just some of the things. None of these things that I'll run through are really exhaustive. In our nursing department, it's really relevant to what's happening right now with COVID-19. So we track and investigate the spread of infectious diseases like COVID-19 and flu viruses. We have an epidemiology team. So these are specialized, masters, prepared individuals that analyze and interpret the data for us. We also do the contact tracing to reduce the spread of infection and to educate people about how to quarantine and in some cases isolate themselves. We offer services that families need to keep themselves well, like WIC, which is women, infants, and children, and immunizations. We also test and treat for other preventable diseases like tuberculosis. We have wellness programming. We do a diabetes self-management program. We have health educators that go out and talk about tobacco use prevention. We do vision and hearing screenings in schools and preschools. We also have a grant through the state for the Illinois Breast and Cervical Cancer Program. So for eligible women, that is a program that offers regular screening and breast and cervical cancer for breast and cervical cancer and follow-up of abnormal findings when needed. We also have our emergency response planning team that's embedded into the nursing division. Animal control, people might think what they might think they know what animal control does, but there are a lot of diseases that can pass from, or there are diseases that can pass from animals to humans. So with animal control, you know, the main thing that we're focused in on is rabies vaccination and registration and education around that. We also promote microchipping of companion animals. So when we encounter a lost animal or somebody picks up an animal and they bring it to animal control, that microchipping really helps us get that animal back to the owner quickly. We also do animal bite investigations and dangerous and vicious dog investigations. Those are required by law. We also assist with animal cruelty investigations, and sometimes we assist the public with sick or injured wildlife. And then within our administration division, that's our 4th division, we have vital records. So we are a county registrar and we register births and deaths and issue birth and death certificates. We also are required by the state to do a community health assessment and improvement plan every 5 years. And so we collaborate with our hospital partners and the mental health board on conducting the assessment and the improvement plan, because each of us is required to do a similar plan. And that's where we set priorities, goals, and objectives over a 3 to 5 year period.
That's amazing. How big is your team? We have
roughly 105 staff.
Wow. I knew about 5% of that. That's amazing. Let's bring in Hans, sitting ever so patiently. Hans, first introduce yourself, and then I'll ask a little bit about your job. So what do you do for hobbies? Tell us a little bit about you.
Yeah, sure. My name is Hans Mach, Community Development Administrator for the county, and I'm actually like more of a division manager. So as Melissa just mentioned, you know, there are divisions within the planning and development department, and we're one of the divisions. Our role, well, actually, you wanted to talk about like some things that I do. So if you could see behind me in the mirror, that's one of my antique paintings. So we're collectors of antiques. Early American is one of the things that we like the most, early painted pieces and that kind of a thing. So we definitely love, you know, traveling and finding these like artifacts and pieces to decorate our home. But one of the things for sure, as Melissa had mentioned, gardening and cooking. We like to, you know, grow our own vegetables and you know, do those types of things. But I'm always posting pictures. I enjoy doing that.
What's your
Hans and I have to hang out, I think.
Seriously? I have a cook-off. What's your go-to dish?
Oh man, there really isn't anything. So, you know, for us, definitely like grilling is a good thing this time of year, especially charcoal, you know, not the, you know, the burner. But you need that real flavor, you know.
So community development, I was trying to Google it and trying to understand it and make the job title sexy so I could hype it up to you, and I was having trouble doing it. But then I was looking at what the community development team does, and I was really surprised at what that meant. It has nothing to do with permits. It has a lot more to do with people. And I was surprised by that because I thought it was just kind of like a very, you know, paperwork kind of job. And I was surprised to see. Can you go into some detail on what the community development team does?
Absolutely. So on an annual basis right now, we manage $6 million in grant programs. These are grant making programs that include a variety of different topics. So first off, we have our Community Development Block Grant Program. That's our signature program in which we can provide support to local businesses. We could provide support to homeless services. We could do infrastructure projects. We could do historic preservation. So one of our key projects that we've worked on with community development has been the restoration of the old courthouse on Square in Woodstock. So, you know, the facade improvements that were done to the exterior were to preserve it for generations to come. We have our home investment partnerships for that. program allows for us to develop and maintain a for services grant. That is a local program that's funded through property tax assessments that allows for us to provide services to what organizations consider a senior population. You may be surprised to hear that some individuals are considered seniors at a younger age than others. So, for instance, if they have Down syndrome, that program allows for a number of organizations to really exist and provide substantial support in the community. We are the principal planner for the Continuum of Care to End Homelessness. So, as that sounds, there are two different lines of funding for homeless services in the community, and we are responsible for ensuring that the funds go toward the most required and needed projects to ensure that we're housing homeless and getting them off the streets. So it's definitely something that's been important, especially lately. And then last but not least, something we worked on with the health department was obtaining a lead-based paint hazard reduction program grant. So we're one of three grantees in the state that was awarded last year, and we will go into homes with lead-based paint, remove that paint and those hazards, and especially in homes with children under age of 6. So they're definitely prone to long-term disabilities as a result of the lead-based paint. So it's something that's, I think, is a really positive and good project for our community.
That's amazing. So everything from actual businesses to homeless, I mean, that's about as wide a range as you can get. Have you seen a spike in homelessness since COVID started? Has it increased a lot, or have you seen it?
We have. So as of right now, we actually are a direct service provider for homeless, which is something that happened as a result of COVID-19, and something normally the county doesn't do in terms of the homeless provision of services. So in this case, we are at about 65 homeless individuals in 2 different motels in Crystal Lake and Woodstock. Our new shelter that's opening at the end of this month has a capacity of 70. So as you can imagine, at this moment, we have more than our capacity, and we doubled the capacity of that shelter. So it was originally 34, going up to 70. So we're in
McHenry County.
That's just in McHenry County, and that's just unsheltered. That's not including Home the Sparrow, Turning Point.
And as far as the businesses, you said you have those grants. What size business, what level of businesses are available for those kind of grants?
Yeah, so we actually retooled our micro enterprise program to do the small business stabilization grant program. So existing businesses, especially focused in on those with a brick and mortar shop, not necessarily limited to that, could have applied for a grant up to $5,000 for stabilization of their small business. Those businesses are considered micro enterprise when they have 5 or fewer employees, one of whom is the owner. We received a lot of applications in a pre-application process, and over time, we have gone through all those applications and are ready to start awarding and issuing contracts probably today or tomorrow. So we're really excited about that program. We're getting those giant checks, that they do with the presentation, and we intend out to those sites, and where we can and where the person is willing to do it. We're very excited about being able to issue those awards.
And that's grants, so they don't have to pay that back, right? That's just to help them stabilize their business.
That's correct. So yeah, we could issue it as a loan, but we decided internally that we felt it would be best to issue it as grants so that these businesses could stabilize and not have to worry about the repayment of that through our community development block grant program. So we're really excited about that program.
That's amazing, Hans. So let's move on and talk about, obviously, both of you have seen this COVID. You've heard of it. Are you exhausted? If I gave you a nickel for every email, phone call, social media response, would you guys just retire now? Would you have an entire house of more antiques, Hans? How are you guys holding up through this? Has it just been insane for you guys?
I can imagine for Melissa, it's definitely, with all the work that I see them doing and the things that probably they're doing that I don't know about. I mean, it's definitely for sure. And for us too, we're part of the emergency response in the community, and we've definitely seen a spike in work. If we had those nickels, man, I think it would be a very nice trip somewhere, or the widow kind of paintings that we have. but definitely significant increase in the amount of workload on our end of things, probably triple.
Melissa, is this something that you just you want to go crazy, or are you kind of built? Is your team built for this, or are they just?
So I mean, I'm not going to lie that it wasn't initially. There were days where it was overwhelming, but we are built for this, right? We're here to be a resource to the community. Public health. This is what public health does, right? So, all the outreach from the community or the inreach, the asking of questions, the people wanting answers, everybody had questions, right? Including ourselves. And really from the beginning, it's been a really fluid situation. And so you have lots of state agencies issuing guidance. And so things were changing really rapidly, including, the information we were receiving. And so that can add to a difficult or stressful situation, right? We're in a pandemic, but I think, we have risen to the occasion, and, we welcome people's questions. We want people to have the best information so that they can make informed decisions. We also want to be able to connect people to the right resources. So like if somebody contacted us, and we needed to refer them over to Hans, we've all been working together to try to make that happen.
So have you noticed more, because about the show, it's more about collaboration than anything. We've seen everything from businesses and neighborhoods and restaurants and musicians, and everybody's collaborating more. There's always been some collaboration, but unprecedented times call for unprecedented collaboration. So have you noticed that your organizations are working closer together, or, as far as like any kind of crisis response, or have you noticed that there's been a lot more collaboration in your fields?
I think, Hans, if you don't mind, I'll go first. I think we were starting to even begin more collaboration prior to this and develop those relationships more. But yeah, I think everybody, the community included, right, has stepped up to collaborate and to work together. I mean, this is something that requires everybody to work together. So there's been a lot of cross-departmental collaboration at the county level, and at the Emergency Operations Center, like Hans was referring to. As a county as a whole, we have hospitals, first responders, municipal partners, and community organizations and the county government that have come together to, provide regular updates and to look at how we can respond to the situation and identify, what do we need? How do we get PPE out to people? How do we get the PPE here? And then how do we distribute the PPE out? How do we handle, homelessness? How do we handle all of these situations that come together in a crisis like this?
Yeah, and I would add in that definitely the health department has been a good partner for us as well with the development of that lead-based paint program grant that we received, but also that definitely has increased as a result of COVID-19 through our coordination with emergency management. One of the other things too that we are working on that is due tomorrow actually is a collaborative application for emergency solutions grant funding for homeless services in the community. And in this case, the county is taking the lead role in this application, along with other partners such as the Housing Authority and Consumer Credit Counseling, and a few other organizations to really develop a well-packaged service model to our continuum of care. So definitely collaborations that would not have happened otherwise.
Awesome. And now that things are starting to open up, it's still the restaurants, now the patio seating is opened up. Things are starting to loosen up a little bit, and I've seen both sides as far as wearing masks, not wearing masks, social distancing. Do you guys have resources as you're getting this update? Where can they go to McHenryCountyIL.gov? Is that the best place for resources as far as like not only just information on health, but other organizations that they might be able to benefit from? Is that the best website to go to?
I think so. They can access the information either from the county site or through the mcdh.info. Either one will get you there. And then there's a COVID link, and there's a lot of resources embedded into the website around COVID, and some by sort of content area, like if you're a first responder or if you're a school or if you're a hospital. So we've organized that information. And and we are continuously updating it. We also have a McHenry County COVID-19 dashboard where we post the data and statistics of what's happening in the county. That's also available through either way. You'll find the links.
Awesome. How often is that updated? How often do you update it?
Every day.
As you get, oh, really? On a daily basis. So that's definitely worth checking out.
Yes.
That's awesome. Thank
We
you.
also have the Restore Illinois metrics built in there too. So that helps show the community where we're at based on what the governor set through that Restore Illinois plan. And we're on track.
Awesome. That's great news. Yeah, on a daily basis, which I'm sure is just, I love that you just said that we welcome those questions, because an informed public is a much more healthy public. And I think those numbers I've seen looking at other counties, that McHenry County has really been not thriving, but they've been excelling a lot more than other counties that I've seen. So whatever you're doing is working.
Yeah, and so it is working, right? We're seeing those numbers drop. We're seeing the trend decline. But I do want to just take the opportunity to remind people that this is a tremendous effort, and we can't just rest on our laurels and assume that we're done, right? COVID is still circulating in our community in the United States. So it will take that ongoing sort of sustained effort by everyone to ensure that we keep these numbers low, and hopefully, you know, we'll get to zero at some point.
That's amazing. Thank you guys so much for taking your time out. I know you're super busy, but this show is really humanizing these departments, and something that just sounds very, you know, bland and standard is just it's a cornerstone in making this community thrive and survive through all this stuff. So I really wanted to get you out to explain a little bit more about them, and I really encourage you guys to check out these websites. They're updated daily. Melissa says daily. They have different information that you can learn. So not only just don't go to Facebook for your news, please go to a reliable resource and check them out. And on a lighter note, so normally we've done jelly beans and all kinds of fun games, but to further humanize these hardworking people, Pete Holmes is a stand-up comedian, and on his show sometimes he'll do a game where they have a fake laugh contest, and the first person to actually laugh from the other people's fake laughs loses the game. So I thought we could do that. That might be a fun game to play. And whoever loses, I think the other person should be able to go to Goodwill or their own closet and pick out whatever outfit, and the other person has to wear it and post it, either wear it to work or at least post it on their page. It could be a disco outfit or just one of those green screen suits, whatever you decide, I'll let you choose. But we'll just go around the corner. We'll start with Melissa and go to Hans, and then we'll just keep going around in a circle until someone cracks.
Okay, so I have to start laughing, is that right?
You have to fake laugh. Hans? Melissa. I'm already out because I've laughed at both of yours. Hans. Melissa.
That was pretty good.
I can't.
Sorry.
Wait, was that
Oh
real?
my.
Is that a real or fake one?
I think that was real.
I am crowned the winner.
Is the queen of the first ever fake laughing. I'm impressed. That was impressive. I wasn't expecting that kind of effort. You went from cute to like.
Yeah, well, I had to change it up.
Oh, that's so good. So, Melissa, you can go however you want to.
Oh, Hans, this is going to be fun.
And you get to dress Hans however you want to. I am so excited to see this. Thank you again so much for doing this, for being such great sports, and for working so hard to better our community. You guys are both superstars and rock stars, and we really appreciate all the hard work that you're doing. Stay tuned, McHenryCountyIL.gov and then mcdh.info are the two sites that you can go to for all that information. Please follow them, and even on their social media pages, they have a lot going on. So thank you guys again so much, and stay healthy, and we'll see you guys soon, okay?
Hey, sounds good. Thank you. All right, Hans, we'll have to connect and set a date for a dress up date.
Yes. And we're gonna follow up to keep you guys.
Yeah, so you'll have to tell us when you're following up so that we can coordinate.
Okay. Let's do.
I think Hans is going to be a good sport about it.
Let's do 2 weeks. Will that be enough time?
2 weeks. I don't know, Hans. Does that work?
That works.
Okay, so we have to schedule some time
So
to
then
go
we can
shopping.
we'll post a picture of the outfit on not this coming show, but the next one.
Maybe we'll have you dress like one of your paintings or something.
Yeah. Oh,
Right? Okay, we'll talk.
well, definitely. I have to be the painting lady for sure.
All right. Well, you are free. Thank you so much for doing this. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Have a good day, guys. This week, McHenry County Stronger Together would like to shine a very colorful spotlight on Woodstock Pride. This is a video produced by New Branch Films. You're going to love it.
I'm so proud of Woodstock Pride for putting on this event and for working through the challenges that we're currently facing.
This year, due to COVID, we had to make it smaller and safer, but we still wanted to reach everybody in the community.
We had houses stay in place and people would drive around to those. So that's what we did, kind of keep people safe, but keep the love alive.
Hopefully there's not another pandemic, so next year will be bigger and better.
It's been a joy-filled, loving, colorful, beautiful day with people coming around and just enjoying our square and our total city, you know, with the houses that were decorated and the businesses that were decorated as well.
We're very, very proud of the support that we've gotten from the Woodstock Area Chamber of Commerce, from the city.
Seeing the cars coming through that people decorated on their own and, you know, the honking and the smiles and the waves. And I think that more than ever, we need that. We've been faced with a lot of trying times so far in 2020. And, you know, we need to smile and show each other love.
I will continue to stress how important the McHenry County Chambers of Commerce are and how much they're doing behind the scenes for all the local businesses. Here's a really cool video put together by the Cary-Grove Chamber of Commerce, produced by Waysound Videos. Check it out.
The Cary-Grove Chamber can't wait to tie our businesses and our community back together.
During the COVID shutdown, many established businesses had to re-examine and change their very successful business models. Let's take an inside look at Woodstock's own Doordan Manufacturing.
Doordan Manufacturing, we're custom thermoformers, which means we basically take plastic and heat it up and make a form. Examples of thermoform packaging would be clamshells, blisters, trays. We've recently completed our clean room for the manufacture of medical packaging, which is really exciting. We've been doing this for about 60 years, so in the beginning we were doing a lot of retail and cosmetics, and we've kind of evolved into healthcare. Everything is in-house, so we have our own packaging engineers, we have our own tool room. All the plastic that's formed is done so on aluminum tooling. It's kind of like an easy bake oven. You get the plastic warm and you form it into a aluminum tool, and then it moves forward where it's then die cut and then the parts are stripped. Since the pandemic hit, it's been kind of different every day. We were pretty fortunate. As a manufacturer, we didn't see the immediate devastation to the economy that so many of the service-facing industries saw. I feel like this has been such a challenge to so many business owners, and there's no playbook for how to manage during an epidemic. My father, who's been running this company for over 40 years, was faced with making decisions that he'd never even considered having to make before. You know, we struggled in the beginning with, how do we keep our workers safe? How do we continue to provide our customers with the products that they need? And how do we continue to, keep our workers working so they can support themselves and their families? We already have like a very robust quality management system at Doordan because we are a medical packaging supplier. So we essentially were able just to kind of build on that in a very quick amount of time. From a company's perspective, we took it day by day. We were cautiously optimistic, and we've been very fortunate that we are able to continue to provide product on time while at the same time keeping our lines running. Since COVID-19, our business model has changed, like many have. We are traditionally custom thermoformers, which means we make parts per what our customers need. We, however, found an opportunity to begin offering a stock product. A stock product means that you can just go online, order 10 of them, there's the price, you get them in your hands a week later. We saw an opportunity to develop face shields that were, I suppose, more affordable and could really go to anyone who needed them quickly. And we were able to do that by essentially cutting the fluff from the supply chain. We are manufacturers ourselves, so we manufacture the plastic portion of the face shield. We were excited by the opportunity, so this is what it looks like. Aww. So this is PET. It's the same material that water bottles are made out of, and it's FDA certified. And then this is just foam for comfort. Okay, hang on, I gotta fix my hair. A lot of viruses, specifically, as scientists and infectious disease experts have said, it's transmitted through the aerosol bodily fluids, so speaking or singing or sneezing. So all it does is just protect your face from these minuscule droplets. Since we started marketing our face shields, industries that we never thought would be potential customers are coming to us with needs for face shield. As many know, the beginning when face shields were first coming online, they were purchased predominantly by hospitals. Now that there's kind of more supply, more people have access to these products, and they're not competing with shields that should be used for frontline workers. For example, hair salons, nail salons, a lot with retail. I mean, pretty much anything that comes in contact with the public. In customer service, not being able to smile, it's weird, So it's you're protected, but you can be seen. So advice that I have for other businesses looking to kind of pivot or stay relevant in this unprecedented time, you have to invest to evolve. You can't just kind of wait it out and hope that it'll pass and things are going to go back to the way they were. I would rather be proactive, and I would rather have a strategy based on, what we do best and married with what the patterns are, what your competition is doing, where the market is going, and treat it like any other business decision you need to make. We have prevailed through so much, businesses, American manufacturers, so this is just another opportunity to grow and an opportunity to learn. learn more about yourself as a company, who your customers are, you know, what they need, how you can modify what you do to like become more relevant. And that's over and out.
The McHenry County Police Departments have gone above and beyond when it comes to graduation and birthday parades. Here's a really great video sent to us by the Lake in the Hills Police Department. Thank you again for watching every week. We've had so much support. Please share these videos, like our page. We're almost at 1,000 likes, and have an amazing week. We'll see you next Wednesday at 7 p.m.